Good afternoon, everyone. Thought I'd do a quick video here. It was the end of the world today. Market was down 500 plus points at one stage, but this morning in chat we were talking about even when the market was down 300 plus points, the IBB, the biotech index, was rather strong. Now, I know a couple of you remarked, you were like, hey, it's down 4 points. And my point this morning was it was down 4 points with the Dow down 300 plus. And in a tape like that, you usually would have seen the IBB down 10, 15, even 20 points. So that was something we were keeping a really close eye on today. And the biotech stocks led us out of the free fall we were in today. Big, lost my train of thought there, sorry. But the reason we're looking at the IBB, this is the speculative sector of the market. And really this has led the market lower since late December. This really started the avalanche that we saw lower, you know, the speculative money coming out of these bloats, these biotech bloats. But fantastic reversal in them today. And the other indice that we really have been paying close attention to, the Dow Transports, now it doesn't show up here, ended up closing red on the day, but this was down 200 plus points at one stage and actually was able to go green 40 to 50 points, even though the Dow was not able to. So excellent recovery in the sectors that we're really paying attention to, the IBB and the Dow Transports, and even the Russell. Let's look at the IWM. This is the Russell 2K chart, and an excellent reversal on this one. This was down big this morning and reversed nicely green and held that green into the close. And you can see on a lot of these charts, you know, we've been talking about January popper. There was no January popper this year, but it's not uncommon, and we've seen it happen before, where we actually see this happen in late January into February. We call them February poppers because it didn't happen in January. But looking through so many charts today, this is the chart formation you see here. Just decimation. Stocks taken to the woodshed over the last couple of weeks, and this kind of pattern. And you can see on many of these stocks, we've got the 20-day exponential, 5, 6, 7, 10% or more on some of these indices and stocks higher. Now, if you're looking for a trade and you've got a gamble in you, IWM calls for a bounce to 106 to 110. Stops 97.50 would be a potential trade on that, especially if there's a gap down tomorrow or if China craps all over its pants. Now, what will probably happen if we don't see an implosion and they spin everything nicely tonight, we're probably going to see China up, and they'll gap this market like these stupid gaps we've seen over the last couple of weeks. But I think this gap, if we do see it tomorrow, will hold, and we'll probably see a lot more strength in other stocks. So that's the fingers crossed for tomorrow. McClellan Oscillator that we talked about hit the negative 89, was coming back down today before the reversal. So this could indicate we are in store for a nice little move. Now, we've traded lots of market sell-offs over the last 20 years, and this is one of the most strangest one we've seen. Typically, what you see happen is 2-3 week sell-off like we've seen, and then a rip-roaring rally all the way back up for a week and a half. We could be seeing the beginnings of that setting up here, possibly tomorrow and into next week. Here is a look at the Dow chart going back 2 years, and you can see today, it's kind of hard to actually see up here. Right here, we were able to hold the August China tank lows. And remember, after that August tank lows, we ended up putting in a pretty substantial rally back over the next several weeks. It ended up rallying 2,500 points. So 20-day exponential right now in the Dow is around 16,600. That is 1,000 points plus move we're looking at potentially in the coming days, and seriously oversold on all the indicators right now. So what sectors are we going to be looking at? Obviously, small cap stocks. But with that in mind, given the leadership role we saw in the IBB, we saw so many biotech stocks bounce intraday that I think this is going to be the focus. The speculative money is going to come in. We know we've been talking about it in chat, how we've been needing for some stabilization, that stocks want to bounce, but traders are afraid to try them, and the ones that are moving are either moving on lowish volumes and spreads, or traders are just chasing them because they're a low float on news. I think we're going to start seeing that spread out. So the focus, at least over the next couple of days, is going to be on what action we see on some of these decimated biotech stocks. So very, very nice recovery today. Most optimistic I've been in the last month. So it should be very, very nice. Let's see what tomorrow brings, see what China does, and fingers crossed that we've seen at least a temporary bottom and we can get back to making some nice bank-ola in this market. Have an awesome evening, guys. See you in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.